Is that me?
Did we time check? Time check.
Stop. Okay, whoa. Was that was me? How did I do that?
We're delayed.
You just cut it early.
I was looping the audio back through. You know what it was? I was watching one of those mushroom farmer videos on YouTube that I've somehow fallen into. And I had the audio turned on, and now I'm using that same channel to feed that back to myself using, where I'm at right here is, it looks like that. So you were there, and then, well, anyway, it was my fault is what I'm saying. It was my fault. I'm sorry about the audio. It should be fixed now. Welcome to the not organized, not relevant podcast.
Easy for you to say.
We're going to rebrand.
We do have Roy with us. We've got Thomas. I am Scott. Welcome. It's good to have all of you here as well. Let me just put this out there. Ashley is in green. Did you notice this?
Is or isn't? Still is not?
It is.
How'd that happen?
A red pen came in. I think it took 4 tries pre-show. 4 tries. And then boom, Ashley got gifted a membership.
Got one. So that means you don't have to give any away tonight.
That's it. I'll keep them to myself. No. Thanks for reminding me. I was going to forget. I did forget.
I thought that's what you were segueing into. I didn't know
it would be a great segue had I planned it, but now I'm not ready.
Ashley says, "LOL, so many memberships today. That's awesome." So, Roy, a little backstory: her membership had expired, and so people in chat today were just throwing out gifted memberships, hoping that she would catch one of them all day long, and it didn't take hold. But apparently, it happened pre-show while we were behind scenes yakking away. She got to snag one. Fanny Pack member for 12 months. Happy 1-year anniversary.
I wish we could give them away more often because I forget how to do it. Between giveaways.
Well, you fully appreciate this whole membership and giving away stuff is a complete mystery to me. Yes. I mean, I've been on here several times and I've watched it. I still haven't.
Okay, so
if somebody was to ask me to explain it, I couldn't even draw pictures. I'd have to just turn around and hide. I got no idea what's going on.
Okay, so Roy, do you have a window that you can open up the live stream in, like in YouTube?
I'm watching YouTube over here, and I didn't realize that it's delayed a few seconds. It's just freaking me out.
It's delayed because of StreamYard.
Yeah.
If like on a normal live stream, I'm 2 seconds behind. Usually that's what I like to be. Makes it a little easier. But on the YouTube side, if you're able to go in chat and you type !gifts in the chat on the YouTube side, not on StreamYard, the bot will respond with a link, and you can check to see if you have the ability turned on to receive membership gifts. It's something you have to opt in. YouTube's not going to give you a membership to something you don't want. So you have to manually turn it on. Once you turn it on, I think it turns it on for your whole account, like wherever you go. There it is. Gifts. Only one person has to do it. Their bot will respond for everybody. But once that's turned on, I think the slider has to be moved to the right on your screen, which my hand went left, which is really confusing. But once it's turned on, then if a membership is gifted, you can receive one. And basically, it makes your name turning up in green, shows up in green in chat instead of being gray. And you get to bypass any slow mode. So when the channel gets busy, a lot of people are on, and we turn on slow mode, so only members can talk. If you're non-members, you have to wait like 5 minutes between chats or something. So,
oh my.
Yeah.
Well, that's clear as mud.
So you can purchase your own membership, and it supports the channel. People can gift memberships, and YouTube randomly selects who it is and supports the channel, and or the content creator. So Scott, in this situation, at the beginning of every month, he's allotted a select few memberships that he can now gift, which is what he's about to do.
So how much does a membership cost?
I think if you buy on your computer, I think it's $4.99 a month.
Yep.
Okay.
If you buy on an iOS device, I think they add on their percentage on top of that, so it gets a little more expensive. But
Yes, Amber found that out the other day. We were talking about it. We had an argument in math, and then the rest of us were like, "No, this is right." And she's like, "Why is mine way more expensive if I'm doing all this?" And then we figured out that's why.
it's inversely prorated to the benefit you are to the channel, Amber. That's how we like to give her a hard time. She has been so helpful this week. She's been helping me out with the website for Top Mark Media, which I do envision actually having up before I have to re-register the domain name 1 year into the build process. But we'll get there. Anyway, I do have 5 memberships to give away right now, and then 5 more will follow. So if everybody's ready, thumbs up in chat. Is anybody ready?
Ready, Freddie?
Ready?
Oh.
Here we go. That's
a lot of memberversaries today.
Ton. All right. First 5 went out. Looks like Jackie Coulter, Gordon, Millie Vacino, Puppies and Pizza. Wait.
No, that's
Nope. I read the wrong one. Rita Wilson, Sandy Grant, Gordon, Jackie Coulter, and Puppies and Pizza. Is that the right one?
It is.
Those
And I
first-
spotted something in the mix of that. Congratulations to all the winners. That is fantastic. That's the first batch of 5. Scott's about to do another, but I think we have an imposter, or no?
Where? Who is it?
Is Dwayne, are you really new, or is that Dwayne Scott's other name on the so I don't know for sure. I don't know.
I think that's Dwayne. The Dwayne.
That's the real Dwayne.
Welcome. First of all, welcome. The reason why this is sort of funny and the inside joke is that my phone number and the name Dwayne somehow got linked somewhere, and I get scam calls for people calling for Dwayne, and I've taken to just saying, "Yeah, I'm Dwayne," and so the name Dwayne means something on the channel. Good name, by the way. Good name. Okay, we're gonna give out another 5 right now. Here they go. See if I can read these off correctly. Let's see. Pascal, Beverly Boo, Catherine EDD, Ohio Lisa, and SoCal SLP. SoCo SLP. Did I get those right?
You did.
First
There it
try.
is. 10 free members.
So that was my portion, my contribution to the podcast. What do you guys have for tonight? I'm done after this. So just kidding. Just kidding.
I got
That's all I prepared was gifting the membership. No, where do we want to start? There's a lot of things to talk about. My son, let me start with this, a little tiny news clip. Is this okay? I should probably pull up the rundown. I'm ruining everything, aren't I?
It's all right. We've got five more gifted memberships. Twubble got one original. Oompy, Johanna Kate, Marsh 13, and Dwayne Harris.
There you go. Dwayne, welcome. You're in green now. You're one of us. You can't leave now. I wanted to share a little tidbit that I shared with him at dinner, and I've never seen his face light up so much. Apparently, IKEA, the furniture store, the build your own. It's like the take and bake. It's the Papa John's of furniture. All right, they're hiring people to work in their Roblox store selling furniture. They're building a virtual store in Roblox, which is basically Minecraft with a little more customization built in. And they're hiring people to work in Roblox. My son would play Roblox 24/7 if he was able, or B, I let him. So he now sees his future at IKEA. So
my daughter's in that same boat. And I don't fully understand the game. It's multiple games within the game of Roblox. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Imagine playing Minecraft, but then building a little game inside Minecraft.
Never did that either.
No.
So I'm out on that.
Anyway, $16 an hour. IKEA. Unfortunately, the downside is they're only hiring 10 people. So I imagine the competition is going to be quite difficult.
Yes. Resumes are going to be flying.
What's the resume going to look like? It's like, well, I've spent this long playing Roblox. Well, I wasn't on the beta, you know. What's going to push one resume over the top? Probably internet ownership, I think, would probably
Yes.
make you a star.
My
story.
My son-in-law plays some kind of goofy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be condescending. This game online, and makes video. He's online an hour and a half, 2 hours every single night. I don't know if there's money in it, or there's probably a little money in it, but I think it's just probably to avoid being around my daughter. I mean, I don't know for sure, but every single night, 2 hours online, playing a game and live streaming it the whole time.
I have to ask, and people have asked as well, and like Lenova has asked, which game? What's the game he plays?
You presume I have a clue.
Well, hurry and text him. Hurry and text him.
I got no idea.
There are platforms much like YouTube for live streaming that are focused on gaming. There's one called Twitch, where that's the norm. Most channels focus on sharing a live stream of a game, and yes, they can even be quite lucrative, like career type endeavors. Wow.
I think our local school has a team. I mean, I think they give scholarships for
esports.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
You play them from a lazy boy. They're the best thing since sliced bread and Doritos. But yeah, they're not just in high school now. There are actually some colleges that are advertising, and they compete in esports. Thomas, are you frozen? Okay.
Sorry, I saw a comment and I was trying to search for what started the conversation. That sounds way more interesting to me than chasing a hockey career, to be honest with you. Air conditioning, which I say that I don't have any in here. My office is boiling right now. I'm sweating, but I watched a video yesterday. It was a golf video, and the golfer had a friend playing with him just for fun, and another random individual was like, "Oh, so you're a golfer too and part of this golf channel?" And he said, "Oh no, I play video games for a living. He's just my friend. I play golf every once in a while." And the gal he was talking to went, "You do what?" He's like, "Yeah, I play video games for a living." And she said, "I don't understand." And he was like, I don't know what you don't understand." So it was funny him trying to relate to her how normal that was for him. And that's what he does for his livelihood. And she had no idea, no concept, haven't heard of it, which I've heard of it. I just don't know how it works. I mean, I know there's YouTubers out there that will play and they're really good and they'll just stream as they play. So other interested gamers will watch. I get that part. Outside of that, I don't know how you make money playing games. Is it like tournaments? You sign up and pay entry fees and winner takes the purse, or I don't know how that works.
And massive sponsorships. Like enormous. Okay. You compete to be on a team, and then the team, they're full uniforms, they're decked out, they've got logos from all the sponsors on their shirts. They're
like NASCAR.
Yes, they're gifted all their computers, their equipment is top of the line, paid for by their sponsors, and they get paid to play.
Interesting. Okay. I know video games are a huge, giant market, and it's all the download the game and that's all the in-game buy this, buy that. Because our daughter's always like, "Hey, what extra chores can I do? Because I want this Roblox, right? It's the cash version.
Robux.
There you go. Robux. Yeah. So it's like $5 USD.
It's like
$500 in the game to buy little trinkets and do silly stuff. And I'm like, you know how much real life cool stuff you could buy with these extra chores?
It's like Bitcoin, only more fake.
Yeah.
There's like real money. There's Bitcoin, which most people don't know how it works or why it's worth anything. And then there's the Roblox down here.
100%.
Monopoly money is one step below that.
Yes. And I'm not going to admit what it is, but we pulled her account last year and looked at what all of her allowance money she spent. Because we told her she's 14, about to be 15. Her allowance money is hers to spend on whatever she wants. I mean, obviously she kind of has to tell us what she's spending on, right? There's certain things off limits. But if you're going to blow all your money on a video game, do it. Be my guest. Because when you want this cool hat or a pair of shoes you see next week and you're begging, like, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Like, you're going to learn that lesson now. So we pulled her account. my jaw hit the floor on the allowance money she spent in that video game. And I couldn't believe it. So she's already asked for a few things and went, nope, sorry.
I've
Well,
seen the
see,
number.
Thomas,
Yeah.
your daughter or rather my wife has 50 years on your daughter. Her, I did the same thing with her. What's the darn Candyland?
Oh.
I should have stock in Candyland. That's not it. Is that right?
Candy Crush?
Candyland?
Is it Candy Crush?
Candy Crush. That's it. Yes. I have, it's like Candy Crush can withdraw money out of my account about once every week or two. And she goes, but I'm on level 6 jillion. I mean, it's like 50, 60,000, 70,000. I don't.
I cannot understand that. I quit after 1,675. I'm like, I'm done.
I have no idea.
It's
But as far as I'm
can go.
concerned, is
I have a problem, Thomas. I think
you
we've
must
talked about
understand
this.
that's a good investment as far as I'm concerned.
Never paid for anything though. I never paid for mine.
My mind is blown.
I'm really good at matching candies
apparent
and
trusting them.
eating them Oh, but no, it's funny. You mentioned the money that they spent on games. I've got a relative fresh out of high school. Okay. Got a really good job. And by really good, he was earning about $65,000 a year. And he was spending $900 a month on a video game that he plays on his phone, not a computer game, a phone game. $900 a month. It's his money. I mean, he earns it. He can spend it. But he's the number one player on the game by dollars invested in the United States.
Oh, there's a trophy to have. That's even Christmas.
I wouldn't put that on the shelf. I wouldn't show anybody that one. That's not something to brag about.
Wow.
Holy moly. So the gaming runs in the family.
Yeah, it's a problem pretty much across the board for us.
Jeez. I used to play a game, but there was no in-game purchases. It was called Day Defeat, and it was similar to, I think, what everyone plays now, like Call of Duty type stuff. And it was a PC game. I don't know, but I played it like 20 years ago, I think is when I was playing, and I played it a ton. But it was zero money. It was just an addicting game. But yeah, the money that goes into it. What an industry. I mean, whoever really started to crank that up and sink their teeth into it and raise funds. I mean, it's $1 billion industry, right? Gaming.
Yeah. Braxton comes with a XQC as a player's name, I believe. A player's, that's his like gamer tag. Gets 75,000 from subs and $250,000 total per month.
Gaming.
Gaming.
What game is this? Hang on, I got some extra time.
I think they're either Fortnite or Call of Duty. I think on that one. Is that right?
And you have to be really good, right? Otherwise, people aren't going to watch you.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's
and it's,
amazing.
I mean,
it's never too late to start a new career. Just need a computer and a camera. You're good.
There's nothing better than being nearly 40, logging in online and getting my butt kicked by a bunch of 14-year-olds.
Mouthy 14-year-olds, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are able to chat and mock you in chat while simultaneously whooping your butt. And
they're parent funded. I can't. My dad would not do that if I gave him a call and said, "Dad, I'm going to try this. Can I get some Roblox?" So
help me out, pops. Give me a start.
Oh, Braxton followed up with his net worth is about 10 million. Being a gamer.
You got the peso song wrong. The peso sign wrong. It says dollars there. So
no. He's telling you what the gamer's net worth is.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, nope. XQC.
Social Blade has a glitch. Recovery out his
It's like, yeah, check Social Blade. That's more accurate.
Yeah. But that's wild. I couldn't get into the games once. I went from Nintendo to Sega, Sonic and Tails.
Sega.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then once they got better in technology and upgraded and more buttons on controllers and all that, I was like, okay, I can't follow this. I'm done. So that's where my gaming stuff really, really died. But
when there started to be like multiple ways you could grip the controller for specific games, I was lost. I'm like, do I hold the middle? Do I hold the two sides? Do I drive it like a ship? Or what's the things on the top? Too many buttons. I just need up, down, left, right, A, B, B, A, and we're good to go.
Oh, Amber chiming in. I played Mahjong and Oregon Trail.
Oh,
Yeah, because then you think I remember Oregon Trail, loved it. I remember playing it when Macintosh first came out with their colored computers, like not the screen, but they went from the stock gray to they had clear and then like turquoise or pink like housings around the thing. I remember that. Those were the good days. Oregon Trail was fun.
Oregon Trail was a game I played in school as a kid.
Yeah, same.
Like it was, I don't know how they said it was like an educational experience, but it was not like during recess time. It was during class time we played Oregon Trail. I guess it was educational, but all I did was shoot like a whole pile of bears.
You had to eat.
Yeah,
Survive.
you got to eat. And then they got like dysentery and died or something. But
oh, look at this one.
Roy, maybe you can explain that. Oregon Trail. Is that before your time as an administrator?
No, I think that might have been during the time whenever I was in charge of taking care of those pink and yellow and green computers. I don't think I actually played the game, but I think I was the recipient of, oh, please come and make it work because I didn't prepare a lesson plan today.
So that's why we played them in school.
It was so, what was the word? Edutainment. Heavy on the ed. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Heavy on the tainment part.
It was so simple too. I mean, it was difficult. It was challenging, but it has made a huge comeback. You can now get Oregon Trail on even my Apple device, my Apple TV. You can download Oregon Trail, and it's because the graphics are slightly better, but surprisingly not as much as you would think. This is not like virtual reality version of Oregon Trail, but you can download Oregon Trail. It might be on the might need to pay like the $5 Games Pass a month to get it.
In-game purchases?
No, there's like an Apple. It's Apple's version of the pay them every month to place the higher quality games. I think it's like $5 a month for their Game Pass of some sort.
Gotcha.
No.
Interesting. Well, that's the best part about all of that is we've spent 22 minutes talking about gaming, and that is not anywhere near on the agenda for
there's nothing.
100% zero. So it's
well, we talked about school. School's out, I think, across the country. It's summertime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a long drawn out 2-month long Alice Cooper song. It's the best part of the year.
Summer. It's wonderful.
Well, 2.5 months for the kids. The teachers are out in Texas anyway. They'll go back to work on probably during the first week of August. And the kids will come back a couple of weeks later.
Yuck. Did you, Roy, question for you in that regard, because I was actually speaking to a different peace officer friend of mine who he's got the entire month off. And I was saying, I don't know how you could do that because I couldn't. If I had a whole month off of work, come time to return, I would be so used to not working that my motivation, everything would be so gone. And so that kind of reminds me of, teachers and administration. When I know you work so hard and so many hours all year long, and then that summer break feels so good, but do you get so used to that? And so when the school year's now starting to ramp up, are you like, oh gosh, we got to do this now? I'm used to being, or how does it make you feel?
There's a one-word answer for that. Yes. No, I think most people in that profession, our profession, they just they finish a year and have a great big sigh, knowing, before very much longer, just a few weeks, it'll be time to do it again. Plus, most schools have demands on their teachers that they have to do some kind of continuing ed during the summer and those kinds of things. Plus, there's, preparing for the upcoming year, and then in service that begins and the students come back, and then the whole cycle starts again. I think I may have told you before, and I don't know if it was here or not, but my biggest fear has always been if I took off a month that they would figure out they didn't need me anymore. There wouldn't be anything to come back to. So
You've got to sabotage the workplace in some way while you're gone,
so
just so they don't notice that they don't need you.
they'll beg for me to come back a day or two early because it's an emergency that, of course, I created. So
Yes.
I don't have to know the last part.
I did. I'm pretty sure this isn't illegal, so I can say this. I did something similar to this at an employment I had. I built something as a prototype because I worked at a manufacturing facility, and there was waste. The waste was not being tracked. And when things are tracked, you can make improvement, right? It's if you don't track it, it's just nobody knows, and the numbers just disappear, and we have just lost inventory. And I built a system that tracked productivity and waste in this metal plant. And I took it to my boss, and I built it for one part of the shop. And I showed him, and he loved it. And I said, "Look, can you pay for my schooling?" At that time, I think it was $3,000 for a class, a computer class. I said, "This will help me. I'll be able to do it better." And he's like, "No, we have no interest in that, but I do want you to use this and set it up for all the different lines." And so I set it up with a ticking time sundown feature, and it worked for a year. And I set it up on every single shop line, and all the foremen loved it. And the year was over, and everyone just came screaming to me. And they're like, "Hey, it's not working. How do we know it's, because we built processes and procedures built around this." And the boss came to me, and I used the exact same line that he used on me when he turned me down for my job. So I just don't think that's something that's worth my time.
You're not cut out for this.
No. But I never did build it. I never fixed it for him. I would not reactivate it. Like, if you're not going to pay me for my work that I'm doing above and beyond, I'm not going to do it.
You're not getting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, there's some intellectual property there that you should be compensated for.
I thought so. But
the thing that stuck with me, you said that, you were going to the classes and there were $3,000 a class, or was that a college class, or was that something above and beyond?
it was a hands-on. It was A+ and Net Plus certification. Okay. So I just wanted IT, ground level certs they're great certs. They're still good today. I know we've got viewers who Braxton, I think, just barely got his A+ in chat. Great. It's a great cert to get your foot in the door in IT if you're into the IT and want to get started in that and moving up. And
well, where I was going with this is I remember the first check I wrote at Midwestern, the local college, 14 hours. My tuition and fees were $139 for the semester.
I think my cost included like a computer. We got a computer that we built and got to keep, and we got a shirt. It was really a scam. Actually, it was totally a scam, because 2 weeks before my class was over, like before we were supposed to do the test, we showed up to class and there was a sign on the door saying the business was closed and the owner had left with his boyfriend to Mexico. And the employees, that was the notice they got. And the IRS was involved, the business shut down. And then all the other training schools came in and said, "Hey, for just another $1,000, we'll let you finish your education here." And everything it was bad. So never got the computer, never got the shirt, never got the cert. Now I'm angry. What's the next topic?
Looking for a wah, wah, wah.
There's a bunch of extra shirts in Mexico somewhere.
Yeah. It's like the runner-up of the Super Bowl. All those shirts and hats that say champion on them get sent elsewhere.
Yeah.
But that's so diving completely off topic. Scott, I want to wrap you in here on something.
Sure.
So Dwayne Harris came to light, but I've been watching chat. If you know, I've been kind of quiet and I've been kind of over here. Dwayne's brand new. It's a new home. He's been given a lot of welcomes by members in chat, and he made a comment about the Recovery Addict name, and if so, then he's found the right place. Do you want to just speak to Dwayne a little bit, let him know
Sure.
the background of the channel, who you are, and then what you do outside of the podcast? Maybe he'll stick around because he's
Wonderful.
made some friends.
I'd love to. Give me just 1 second to pull this up here. because Dwayne, I saw that you not only were gifted membership, but you turned around immediately and gifted 5 memberships right back. So
Awesome.
thank you. The Recovery Addict name that we use on this channel, I built the channel when I was envisioning it being a metal detecting channel, and I would go out and metal detect, and you would come along with me and watch me swing and beep and dig holes in the ground and then put the dirt back in, hopefully find good things. I learned pretty quickly that a lot of people don't like watching that as much as I like doing it. And the channel over, I don't know, 4 or 5 years got 600 subscribers. And I think some of them were on accident.
Yeah.
But I used that same channel to do true crime, and it exploded. But I do have my own story about addiction, and believe it or not, it's involving computer games, which we're talking about this morning. So I do know a wee bit about that. I'll share the full story sometime, but just about lost everything: family, house, job, to computer games. That addiction. My game of choice was World of Warcraft. If you've ever played that game, my /played on there was terrible. I was playing more than I was doing anything else, including sleeping, eating, and any other. I think all other parts of my life combined were less than what I was spending on that game. And so we do support people who are on the road to recovery from whatever addiction they're facing, and so we're just big supporters of that, and we've kept the name. So.
Absolutely. Awesome. And Dwayne, if you're interested, whatever your schedule may be outside of this podcast, Scott covers true crime Monday through Friday, roughly 8:30-ish Eastern into the afternoons, evenings, however long things happen. So a lot of the people you're chatting with and befriending here are also during the day show and hang out. So hopefully we see you around. Thanks
So we
for
talk
coming
about
in.
murder all day long, and then on Thursdays we talk about other things.
That's right. Exactly.
But thank you. Love the dog in the profile picture too, Dwayne. It's great.
Oh, awesome. Loving seeing new faces, and chat has just open arms welcome. So that's so cool. I've got, speaking of summer and summer school for people and vacations and going back and whatnot, I came across an article which I think is helpful, and I think half of which is funny, and it's tips on summer travel. Which is funny to me because a lot of it seems to be common sense or just like, I'll be nice. So one of them, they're in no particular order. This is just a list of like 20 summer traveling tips. One of them is use sunscreen. So I'm glad that made the article.
My goodness. This one, it never rises to the top of my list until I remember or I forget to do it.
Ow.
And then it's too late.
Yes, it is. I will admit I'm terrible. I golf just about every weekend in the heat and the sun. I never put on sunscreen, and I should be doing it all the time. I'm so bad with it. So as much as that is common sense, I guess it's good to be reminded because so many don't.
My worst experience, Mrs. R.A. and I, when we were dinks, double income, no kids, I rented a boat. It's the only time I've ever rented a boat. I got the motorboating merit badge as a Boy Scout, but I think they gave it to me on accident. I don't remember doing anything to actually learn about boats and how to drive.
Yeah.
I don't know port from starboard or anything. Zero, absolutely zero. I rented a jet boat, which is a little tiny.
Way to
It's
start.
like a 4-seater that's
What
basically
could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it's got a rocket engine. Okay,
Yeah.
this thing is so fast and it weighs nothing. I should have been aware when they said when you drive it, you have to put this tether on your wrist. And I'm like, what for? It's the kill switch in case you get thrown out of the boat.
So when you're ejected, the boat stops.
Yes. So it doesn't just continue off the lake. We went high altitude. We were at Bear Lake, which is on the border of Utah and Idaho. Beautiful, blue, amazing water. Zero sunscreen. And I had a blast. Except for when Mrs. R.A. towed me on the boat, and I had the waves were so choppy, and that boat was just dragging me through, just bam, 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 bam. It was like belly flopping over and over for like 3 minutes straight. And she wouldn't stop, and I was too stupid to let go of the tube on the back. But anyway, end of that. blistered, whole back just blistered.
The worst.
It was so bad. And I couldn't even shower. It was like the pain of water hitting it. It's like, I'm just going to stink for like a week until some of this somehow heals because it's so painful. So sunscreen, number one, I'm on board.
You can't shower. You can't sleep when you're sunburnt. It's miserable. It's awful. Number two, drink plenty of water while traveling in the summer. Got to stay hydrated.
Deer Park water, not a sponsor.
Mine is, what is mine? I think mine's Ozark. Yeah, I refill my little mini Yeti with some Ozark gallon jug. Not sponsored.
No, there you go. Roy, what's in your mug?
Tea. It's from a tea place here in town.
You make tea with water, right? So it's.
I drank some water earlier.
Sweet or unsweet? What's your choice?
Sweet. It's sweet. It's some kind of frou-frou tea that my wife buys. Georgia peach mango flavor from what's the name of that place around the corner? Texas tea or something. I don't know. It's like Starbucks for tea.
Yeah. It's Texas THO or something. It's a play on words, I believe.
So
does Texas have to do everything like differently? I ask this because you guys are both in Texas. I saw in the news the other day that Texas is actually building their own stock exchange to compete with New York's.
Yeah, I read that too. I didn't read the article, but I just read the headlines and I thought, well, that's different. I've been to the New York Stock Exchange. I'm not sure I'd want one of those in Texas.
I think they're slowly just preparing to secede.
Well,
yes, they've got everything they need. Once they have a stock exchange, they'll have the whole finance side covered, and it's just up goes the border wall.
I live in my bubble. I don't know. I try not to go down those different rabbit holes and what's there, but I saw that too. You actually sent that to me, and so I was reading on it. I thought, well, that was really interesting because I haven't heard of that, and I try to stay up on current events, especially statewide, and that I had not caught until you sent it to me.
I think it's just going to be electronic. They're not going to have like a trading floor with brokers and people bidding and all that. It's just going to be the electronic side of it. But hey, Officer Brian, welcome.
I think most of the trading is done electronically anyway. Not even during trading hours. Most of it's done after hours anymore anyway.
Right.
I think it should be 24/7. Because
it just about is. It just depends on where you're at. I mean, they've got New York Stock Exchange closes at I believe 3 p.m. our time. It's been a long time since I was a broker, but I mean, there's exchanges on every continent. There's some in Europe, then China, Singapore, whatever, Japan. So yeah, if you want to trade something badly enough, you can find some place.
I just want my Robinhood and Cash App to allow me to trade in the evenings when I can actually do something. When I'm live on the air, I feel bad like trying to research stock options. But as soon as I'm done, it's like, and we're closed. So.
Yeah, right. Wow. It's over. All right, I'm going to rip through just a few more of these. I'll keep it brief. Number 4, book in advance during busy summer travel season. That makes sense because you get better savings and you can kind of first come, first serve for certain things. So the next one.
I have a story about that, but I'll save it for later.
Next one coincides. I don't know why it's kind of separate, but it says book tours and activities as early as possible. That makes sense. This one.
Hey, Mrs. RA, listen to this next one. Okay, go ahead.
Pay a little extra for air-conditioned hostel or hotel room.
Yes. Okay.
Most budget hotels and hostels in hot climates offer AC and non-AC rooms, depending on the regions you're traveling to. Expect to pay $5 to $15 more for an AC room. If you have a room in budget, recommend you spend the extra money to have AC room while traveling during the summer. Traveling in hot climates get exhausting. And sometimes heat gets so intense that you just don't want to do anything, makes you feel sluggish. And now you have nowhere to retreat. So Mrs. RA, pay the extra money so Scott can have an air-conditioned room.
every single trip I've ever been on, booked by my travel agent wife, that that is just me, I've had major issues. Major.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. We went to Airbnb. Had to call the police on the host. It was bad. I ended up leaving mid stay. It was very, very bad. Another one was in a part of town where I should not have stopped. I should not have stopped. It was the best deal out there, but just terrible, absolutely terrible. Hotel, yeah, we got a good deal. There's standing water on the floor with electrical cords running through it, but it was a great deal. I'm a huge fan of just paying extra. It's like, look, I realize it's $30 more a night, but I know that the breakfast is going to be a hot cinnamon roll and it's going to be edible and it probably won't kill me. I'm all up for paying that little upcharge to make sure you get the quality. So anyway, go on. I'll stop telling stories.
I feel like this is a war you fight as well. Be prepared to deal with bugs during the summer. Mosquitoes, ticks, bees, ants are out in full force in the summertime. Be prepared to fight the war.
This is the sign we have on our Airbnb. Be prepared to deal with bugs. Welcome to the South. We do our best to keep them out. Please don't let them in.
It's funny how this continues. Wear sunglasses, protect yourself from those UV rays. Number 9, carry warm clothes. Even in hot climates, it can get chilly at night. And this is actually a pretty accurate statement. As funny as all the AC comments and this and that, yes. Spending many a time in San Diego, you can be beach going and roasting, sunscreen, sweating, super hot day. Go home, clean up, and head out to dinner in the evening downtown. Sun setting, shadows everywhere, and it could be chilly. So you could be in swimsuit all day long, and then you need a sweater in the evening. So depending where you are, it's actually rings true. It's just kind of funny how it coincides on this article. Next one, carry wet wipes. I carry wet wipes in my car 24/7. Do you guys?
The diaper bag. That's the most useful item in the diaper bag. And
Yes.
once our kids were out of diapers, that's when I realized how much we used wet wipes for everything else that wasn't diaper related.
Yeah.
They're useful.
Anytime I travel, you stick your hand in something and you got the wet wipes there. You need to work on your bike or something or whatever it is, because that's what we would be there and you'd end up with somebody's chain would come off their bike when we do our bike tours, and you'd have the wet wipes. Otherwise, you're just wiping it on yourself or each other or something. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's like a year-round tip. You always carry wet wipes. I'm big on that too. I've got shop towel versions in the garage that I use religiously, and then I've got a pack in the car, and then I've got no, I didn't put any in Amanda's car. I'm selfish. Consider choosing a destination that is in the off season. So funny enough, we're in summer. A colleague / friend of mine, they are in Breckenridge, Colorado right now because it's kind of a tweener season. It's not yet hiking, mountain biking, and it's obviously not skiing. They're right in between. So he's up there, and it's nice and quiet. Availability for everything is fantastic, but he's still experiencing good weather and a good time with family. So I definitely get that one. I'm just gonna blast.
My wife and I are big fans of cruises.
Yes.
And the best time to take a cruise is when all the children, God bless them, I love them all, but the best time to go on a cruise is when kids are in school. I've made the mistake a couple of times taking a cruise when kids were out of school, and I felt like I'd been trapped on a boat in a junior high. It was just, it was terrible, especially given my background. It just made me crazy. But we snuck off one time, like in 1st of October or something, and it was just wonderful.
That's made you feel like you were on vacation and went right back to work.
Yes.
The
vacation part was wonderful.
That's funny. Officer Brian in chat and has been on the show. He just got back from a cruise this week, his first one, and he had a blast.
Hey, do you want to tell us where he went? Did he do like up Alaska or did he go
No, he went down south. He left out of Galveston on Carnival, and they went to Cozumel, and they went to 3 different ports. Cozumel being one. I forget the other 2 that he said. But he had a blast. If anyone's friends with him on Facebook, he posted or uploaded a whole bunch of his pictures. He and his wife out there having a grand old time. So
you probably did it right and didn't post pictures during the trip until he was home, so that nobody knew he was gone.
So he'd have something to come home to.
Yes. See, I've already told you when I'm taking a month-long trip, we're going to have to hire people to stay in our house because I'm like, it's going to get raided. I don't know what else to do. Have some friends stay here.
Dwayne Harris gifting another 5 memberships to his friends in chat. That's awesome.
Dwayne. Very generous.
That is awesome. So wrapping up the list, Pack Light is one. Go camping is another. I feel like it takes special people and situations to actually go true camping, not glamping. Pack a pair of long pants, long sleeve shirts. The other is consider signing up for global entry / TSA pre-check to help expedite your travel. Although I've heard people share nightmare stories, even having TSA pre-check in airports and it not doing them any good whatsoever. And that this one I like. Open a travel credit card because it comes with perks and points, but obviously you have to use it often and you have to be responsible. But if you're in that situation, getting one of those, you can get some major rewards back by doing that. So
you can pay for your whole trip if you roll the cards over right and you play the game.
Right.
You can. We've got family friends that drove across country, and their only expense was gas for their trip.
If you do some research and you get it right and you've got the funding and you don't take advantage of it and go wild, like you just said, you 100% can subsidize the entire thing on what they do.
I had a buddy who was an optician, ran his entire business through a credit card, everything except payroll, everything that was purchased, rent, the whole 9 yards. And he got an obscene amount of money back at the end of the year on his credit card reward points, money, whatever it is. I don't have that kind of discipline, I don't think, for the most part.
The best I've ever done on the cashing on the money back was through like Sam's Club rewards. There are 2 times. One time I was in charge of buying all the food for our city's 4th of July breakfast to feed a few thousand people. So I have got a Sam's Club card that helps, and they paid for it instantly, but it went through my card. And the other time was when I was in charge of youth groups and we're paying for like summer camp foods and stuff. It's like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah. My 3 jobs ago, they were huge on client retention and entertainment. So the account managers had to do at least 5 socials with any given customer per month. And there were so many because the company was so big that managers didn't get company cards. So you had to just take them out on your own dime. And then at the end of every month, just file your expense report. Well, so it was so promoted that you had to do at least 5. Well, managers would do 15 to 20 a month, and happy hours were allowed. Absolutely 100%. You could do stuff like that. A round of golf for a big client all day long. So every manager went out. A lot of them had Southwest rewards cards. Adam just had a comment that reminded me of the story. That's what they all did. So they did all this entertaining with their customers on their own Southwest reward cards, built up all those points, got all the money reimbursed at the end of the month, paid it off. And so they're just stacking and stacking and stacking all of these points. And so they could fly, take their vacations, do everything they did, cost them 0 money.
I should have done Southwest. I used Cabela's.
No, Cabela's
is
way cooler.
So much good stuff.
Cabela's way cooler.
It's a good choice.
Oh, that's funny. I don't, let's see. I had a couple stories. There's really no segue into it, but I just think it's nuts. You know, Scott, do you have something? You look like you were just about to bring something up.
Oh no, my son was telling me he was going to run outside and make noise in the background. But do you want to go to the funeral one?
Yeah, I think.
Did I say that right? Is it funeral?
Well, typically, yes. I know
I always
Enunciation
mispronounce.
sometimes is hard, but it's this one is funeral. The funeral. And so when I'm looking for certain articles throughout different days and seeing, and you share them with me and we kind of look around and they're like, okay, that'll be a good one. Sometimes you got to click it and really read into it, see if it's kind of worth talking about. This one, the title, I went, what the heck is this? And I had a funeral for my dead husband.
Oh,
Yeah. So the phrase, it's awesome. I should be careful with this. It's crazy. One widow took the phrase celebration of life literally after her husband's untimely passing. And they're young too. After her husband, Brandon, 39, died of complications from a stroke, Katie Young scraped usual funeral service or scrapped it in the wake, instead hosted a funeral in his honor. They had a bounce house. They had goodie bags.
please tell me this wasn't also a wake. I mean, they didn't like have him in the bounce house. Right? This is like,
It was at the old folks' home, wasn't it?
there's a movie. There's a movie about this. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Is there a movie about this?
The bounce house and the retirement home. Yeah,
and goodie bags. So her whole premise behind that was because she had 3 kids. I think they were 8, 10, and 12. She didn't want them in their young age to be traumatized by their father's death and the funeral experience. So she made it a funeral. So now they're just in the media all over the place instead of
no trauma here. Next time they go to a funeral, aren't they going to be disappointed?
This is my first funeral I've ever been at. I had no idea they were like this. Now I'm going to go to all of them. They're listed in the newspaper.
From?
Where's my goodie bag?
Oh man,
no bounce house.
People grieve in different ways, and that's something I've learned.
Yes.
The way I grieve is probably very different from the way somebody else would grieve. So I don't begrudge them that. I think that's cool. I love the celebration of life idea. That's just awesome. Can we transition to a story of someone who almost died?
Yes.
Instead of someone who did die?
Yeah.
This one is not in Florida, Roy. As you were making a comment before about all our Florida stories.
It's the only one.
Let's see. This was a bride to be. Think about a bride to be, all the good things that happen. She was recently featured in the news with 3 pictures of her just with a lot of road rash. She was thrown from a truck. And you think, why is this a story? It's just sad. It just sounds bad. Well, You have to realize she was on top of a mattress trying to hold it down so the mattress wouldn't blow away in the wind. And there's not much to hold on to on top of the mattress. She was just using the body weight to do it, and ended up taking a spill. I'm not sure if this is like a Darwin Award.
Yes.
Had she passed away.
Yes.
There are things out there that seem like a good idea at the time. This one was not. This is out of Utah. I think it was. What was it? Was it K2E? Oh no,
it's one of those deals where it says not good at physics.
Yeah, it's the corner that will get you. You can drive straight all day long. It's stopping in the corners where that mattress will be like a slip and slide.
Well, or straight and then given speed, if it catches a little bit of air, off you go with that mattress.
I'm just curious if it was the you're engaged to somebody. What do they call that?
Fiance.
There's the word. Thank you. Words are hard. If it was the fiance that was driving, because the guilt there is going to be terrible.
Or
she's all right. Okay, she's going to get better. She might need a little cosmetic work on her teeth.
Or the disappointment.
It was his idea and it was on purpose. I can get out of this wedding. Watch this. Hey, honey, hold down the mattress.
You seen the movie Aladdin?
It could have been. Neither are bright, we'll say that much. And I hope they make it through their marriage and they have a nice life moving forward, because if she decided to do that and he said, that's a great idea, and then he took, that's
it's a bit of a bumpy start.
Scott, since this didn't happen in Florida, where did it happen?
It was in Utah. Utah bride thrown from truck while lying on mattress in attempt to secure it in transport.
So these some of your homies?
Don't know this one. It doesn't appear to be a relative either.
Do you know John Robbins from North Carolina?
Ooh, John. No, also no.
You don't know
Well,
everybody in North Carolina?
I'm doing my best to get to know them, but I have to learn every different dialect as we go through different areas. Some of the
fair enough.
accents can be a little strong.
That's fair. That's fair. It's a shame you don't know him because John is just giving lottery news.
Mhm.
Shocker.
Yay.
Scratch off. $100,000 winner. It's just giving it back to his community. And
What's
you know
his
why?
community?
You know why he's so it's not Aiden.
Where do I need to move to?
Yeah. And you know why he's just being so gracious with it?
What is that?
Well, because 2 years ago he won $2 million in the lottery. So it's like chump change now, winning again.
Now he's just playing for fun.
There's so many of these in North Carolina. I don't get it.
We have a gambling problem. That's why. We have a lot of winners, but we also have a lot more losers.
Do you not have any casinos in North Carolina?
I think we have some on Indian reservations,
Oh, well, yes,
On
of
Indian
course, on
land?
Indian reservations.
but like North Carolina proper, no, not that I'm aware of.
Well, I wanted to ask you if you had Indian reservations, but I thought that might be insensitive. So, because around here, there's Indian reservation casinos in every direction, it seems like. They do an
You had
amazing business.
You had reservations about that question? Moving on
Nope.
before Dwayne leaves the channel.
Ping ching.
Let's go to a Florida story. Let's
Yes, please.
let's point the finger of shame at Florida again. This one is there are lots of things you can be arrested for in Florida. This one's probably not going to be on the list if you name it. Trying to cross the ocean in a homemade hamster wheel. Apparently, there's a law on the books where that is a big no-no. But there's a guy named Reza Baluchi that he claimed he intended to run more than 4,000 miles across the Atlantic all the way to London. So think hamster wheel. It's exactly what that's what he built. He built a hamster wheel. It's a circle with like little, I don't know, floating milk jugs around the outside, okay, little cage, little track on the inside, and he just runs. And as you run, the circle turn, the paddles go, and you go across the ocean.
I think I saw that interview, Scott. I'm gonna run across the ocean.
The best part about this, let's scroll down just a tiny bit. Look at how the article starts. Just the first 3 words. A Florida man. That right there. That's all you need to know.
Should have been all you needed, right?
There it is.
Apparently, the U.S. Coast Guard stopped him, arrested him. The run to London was a no-go. There's the vehicle that will get you across the ocean. You don't need a Titanic. You don't need anything else. You can make it on a couple. Looks like those are exercise balls and maybe some. Yeah, those just exercise balls and a little bit of wireframe.
Yeah, exercise balls. And then, man, I forget what they are. We had to do them all the time at the lake. But what you hang over the side of your boat when you're docking. They're like little bumper cars.
Oh, yeah, the buoys. Little buoys,
like little
bumper buoy things.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you would think the Coast Guard just pulls alongside in their cutter and gets some megaphones like, get out of the boat. No, 3 days. Took him 3 days to talk this guy out of his hamster wheel before he would give up.
Out of his hamster wheel. Oh my gosh.
Things can bite when you reach in the cage.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Oh man, that's wild. That's hey honey, can you come get me out of jail? I got pulled over in my hamster wheel vessel.
You know what would be interesting is if you could sit down with this fella and ask him what other poor choices has he made in life.
Yeah. What's next on your agenda? Seriously.
What have you done to get to this point, and what do you aspire to do next? Oh yeah.
I imagine for the typical beach goer, that was an interesting day as he shows up and backs up his trailer and offloads the hamster wheel there on the beach. And everyone's like, that's unlike anything I've ever seen. And I guess it's probably legal just to play within the water. You can run around with it. You can do a similar thing at your local state fair, your county fair. and those little inflatable bubbles and run in a little pool, right?
Yeah.
At what point does it become illegal? Is it when you cross into international waters?
I don't know. I bet there's a lot of people out there that know. Well, many that don't, but there's a YouTube channel that is somewhat controversial, and it's I said Whistling Diesel, who does some different things and items out there, and one of which was, I forget the vehicle itself. He's done it to many nice vehicles and different things, but one of which he put giant paddle tires on, like a monster truck or something that's not a boat. And he pulls up to the boat ramp, and Fish and Wildlife and the rangers are out there going, "What are you doing with that?" Well, I'm about to launch it in the lake. And they're like, "You can't take that out there." And he's, "Why? I've got the lights, I've got the this, I've got the that." So I didn't watch the full thing, but he does stuff like that to stir the pot. Like he got a Tesla and he put wagon wheels on it and drove it down the street in town type thing. So
he's got Mr. Beast type money.
Mhm.
And all the land in a shop and the mechanical know-how to do the craziest things. To give you an idea of some of the things he's done, first of all, I like his channel because he's original.
Yes.
I don't like everything he does, and he's he destroys a lot of stuff.
Right.
But someone stole his head's like skid steer, which is worth it was old beat up skid steer. It was worth like $20,000. He put out $100,000 reward. Okay. And the guy's like, "I'm going to catch you." And then he started taking tips and driving around the country and finding it's bizarre. The guy's like, "I'm going to catch you and we're going to make you pay."
Yes.
It's not about the money. It's about the principle for him. And he's done similar things with people that tried to rob him with from his shop and steal stuff.
Yeah. They tracked that guy. They took hunting bows and other equipment, and they caught him on the camera, and they caught him ripping down the camera, and they went to his house and called the cops, and the cops showed up, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm calling you on it. Just give me my stuff back. We'll call it good." And the guy just breaks down and is embarrassed because his wife's like, "Are you kidding me? You stole stuff?" I mean, just the guy was demoralized. Like, "Just give me my stuff. Give it back." I mean, gives him a hug, whatever, at least. But yeah, it's
he also one time took a huge track hoe and accidentally backed over his cameraman's truck. that had major sentimental value.
Oh,
of course, he gave him a brand new pickup truck. It was all part of the gig.
right.
But the cameraman, to his credit, filmed the entire thing, thinking it was an accident.
Filmed his own demise.
Filmed. Well, he was outside the truck.
I mean,
they were by the shop, and he filmed him smashing the truck and just pulverized it. And if you watch that episode, you'll see that the cameraman is, even though he got this awesome brand new truck, a major upgrade, he was like, that truck meant a lot to me. It wasn't just about the truck. That's not something you can replace. Anyway, love Whistling Diesel. Good YouTube channel. He's done some good stuff as well.
Tons and tons of viewers.
Roy, you would like this. He organized a protest about driving tractors to school, organized where everyone was driving tractors to school to protest the fact that a kid was in trouble, banned from driving his tractor to high school. And the police got involved. It was crazy. He had like hundreds of John Deeres lined up all around the school. It was bizarre.
Yeah, he had everyone drive. If they didn't have tractors, take your four-wheeler, take a golf cart, take anything but a car to school tomorrow to protest and show support. And boy, did they ever. It was cool.
Somebody should have had better sense than to put themselves in that situation. We were asking for it. Said, "Don't do this."
Yep.
No, don't, because you'll end up regretting that. He's
ended up in court a couple times. We should probably try to follow his court cases, because I know he gets in trouble. He got in trouble for like a no-wake zone on a jet ski, and they're like, there might be jail time or something. And it was, and they were serious. They were really trying to throw the book at him. I think he escaped the jail time on that one, but ended up making a huge donation to the law enforcement fund. I don't know how you get out of trouble.
It's funny how that works.
It's not a bribe. It's not a bribe. It's a donation.
Donation. Yeah. There's that fine line between being an entertainer and drawing a crowd to do certain things, and not drawing unwanted attention to yourself that ends you up in litigation as well. but it's so wild. We've hit the hour mark just over. We're not done yet, but I do want to go ahead and just bunny hop a couple articles we had on the docket. And just since we've talked about some summer things here, Roy, I shot you the link. It's the last one on that page if you want to follow along. Scott, have you pulled it up here? We've got some summertime dad jokes here.
I was busy looking at the Guinness Book of World Records story. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it was for.
Well, now you got to run with, which one? There's two.
Hang on. Let me go back to it. Let's do another world record. Well, the first one. There's another world record and another world record. I'm doing the another world record.
Okay, go for it. We'll do that one.
I'm reading it now for the first time, and I'm still confused.
I didn't understand that. What's he doing? Is he's moving water with his hands?
There's a YouTube video called "How I Broke the Easiest World Record." An Idaho man broke the Guinness Book of World Record for most water moved by the hands in 30 seconds after attempting and failing to take the title for 5 years. This is dedication. I mean, who hasn't been in the pool and tried to splash somebody? And if you shape your hand just right and swing your arm across the top of the pool, you can like move like a jet of water. Apparently it's an art form and there's a record for it. I want this guy on my water fight team.
I want to know how they measured it. Do they have is there a place?
Well, he transferred 3,323 milliliters of water. So whatever they measured with, it had very fine lines on the graduated cylinder. But the cool thing for him, that is his 174th concurrently held record.
He's a serial record breaker. David Rush, if anyone wants to Google. He's an addict of breaking records. Oh my gosh, I did not know this. So I put up 2 world record stories, right? The one you just read says, what did I title it? I forget. Another world record. The second one I titled, and another world record. I didn't even realize I pulled it up.
It's the same guy.
Same guy, David Rush. David Rush.
He's in the news twice for 2 different stories. Hang on. Does it start out an Idaho man?
No, serial record breaker David Rush earned his 173rd currently held Guinness World Record by using his nose to inflate 28 balloons in 3 minutes.
Please don't pop those around me. Please.
Same guy. Same guy. I had no idea when I put the stories on. I just saw how goofy the records were and went, oh, these are perfectly goofy.
Is there an app for here's the easiest to break world record? I mean, you've got to, or do you have to pick through and choose?
I went through the rabbit hole of world records once, and there are a ton that you can oh man, I could really beat that if I dedicated myself for a little bit of time. But the process of going through it and the verification, it's a total pain. But obviously this guy loves it. Took him 42 minutes to inflate 28 balloons. Oh no, sorry. It took him 42 attempts to inflate 28 balloons with his nose in 3 minutes. I couldn't do that with my mouth.
Dude, he's like a regular party guy. He inflates the balloons. You have a water fight afterwards. He wins both.
That's just incredibly weird.
I bet
I like it, but it's weird.
It is weird.
Have you ever tried to inflate something over your head? I'm not sure what what you would use to inflate over your head.
There's a confession.
If you had some sort of stretchy type material that's open on one that you could pull over your head and inflate by just breathing into it. I imagine that might work. I've heard
carnival balloon.
Yes, that was it. That's
what I was thinking. Mandel impression.
Balloon animals. I bet this sticks in his craw, though. It says he was eventually able to inflate 28 balloons in the allotted time, enough to become co-holder of the title with fellow serial record breaker Ashrita Furman. So it's not solo holder. I bet he's
got to give it
currently
another go.
Practicing.
Yes. Another go.
Holy mackerel.
Man, I just don't think blowing your nose too hard, you can there's things you can hurt, right? You've got
your sinuses,
your ears, even your eyes are sort of connected to that whole, inner workings there. And inflating balloons. I wonder if he's like, I'm sure his eyes were bloodshot and he probably couldn't hear afterwards. That's my guess.
I just wild.
I want to see what he does next, though, because he's going for 180. He's got 174 records. He needs 6 more to get to 180. I think he has to break 180 to hold the record for the most consecutively held records.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna subscribe to his YouTube channel when we're over, just so I can get notifications.
I'm headed to Idaho in a couple months. I might have to, find him and do an interview.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be awesome. All right, 10 after 9 Eastern
Really
time.
late.
Just
We
a few to
started
bring
on
it
time,
home.
though. We started on time, guys. So you don't add us for that.
A few summertime dad jokes to bring us home. Why aren't lobsters generous?
Because they're shellfish.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's see. Did you hear about the ice cream truck accident,
No.
Roy?
No, I'm busy cheating on the page right now, so I can't find it.
I'm Googling the answer as we speak.
Crashed on Rocky Road. And I'm skipping through so that way you can't use the cheat sheet, Roy.
I'm not cheating. I'm not looking.
I don't believe you. What do you get when you cross an elephant and a fish?
An elephant and a fish. I know an elephant and a rhino. I don't know.
Swimming trunks.
Oh, I knew it had to be something about trunks.
The elephant and the rhino was an elefino.
I like that better, actually.
I do like that one better.
Wife doesn't like that joke.
But where do boats go when they're sick?
Say that
The
again.
dock. They go to the dock.
Look at you.
Oh, I don't like that one. Let's see. I already pre-selected a few that I got to get rid of. Oh, this one's so terrible. What can cause dry skin after being in the swimming pool?
Don't know.
A towel.
Nothing.
It's so bad. It's so obvious. It's so bad. Oh, Red Pen nailed it right before I said it. Red did caught. And then
My son was asking me. My son was asking me today. He said, "Can I have a bookmark?" And I just started crying. I'm just sobbing. 16 still doesn't know my name is Scott.
Can I have a bookmark? Punctuation. It's a big thing.
Matters.
Oh,
Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so good at it.
Roy, you've got a dad joke. I know you've got one.
No, I'm dadless.
You're way
as far as jokes.
You're just way cooler than us of what that means. Because do you know why the watch went on summer vacation?
No.
No.
To unwind. We need a soundbite of that sigh. That was perfect.
Did you hear about the surgeon that enjoyed performing quick surgeries on insects?
That's pretty convoluted, Scott.
Yeah.
He did one on the fly.
Dwayne really thought he liked this channel until the end of the show came about. All right. My last one of the summer theme is, why is the ocean so clean?
I don't know. because it's North Carolina, and that's how we keep it.
No.
I don't know.
Roy?
Something about waves. I don't know. I'm done. I'm
Waves,
at a
beach,
loss.
sand.
It's got mermaids.
That's a sexist joke. You shouldn't have told that.
Oh. And mermans.
Mermans.
Oh. Goofy and silly as always. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us on this Friday Eve and having a good time. Roy, thanks again for joining us and hanging out. Always fun to
Thanks
have
for
you on the show.
tolerating me.
Hey, Roy, what do you call a hippie's wife?
A hippie's wife?
Yeah.
What do you call a hippie's wife? I got nothing.
Mississippi.
Oh, I sure don't have that.
All right. It's been a fun night. We are running really late, so we've got to let everyone go to bed. And tomorrow's Friday. Today's Friday Eve. Tomorrow's Friday. A lot more fun tomorrow. I think we have. Let's see, what do we have? I don't know what we have tomorrow. Oh, no. Now I have homework.
Your night's not over.
I was thinking we had the trial, but Karen Reed's not in session tomorrow, so we don't have Karen Reed. The hot tub cold case ended with a hung verdict, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And the Wade Wilson trial doesn't start till Monday, I think. Sarah Boone, maybe Sarah Boone.
They're saying Sarah Boone hearing. So it sounds like we're going to do Paul Mack. A little bit of
It'll be court hopping. Might see Judge Stephanie Boyd. Maybe
saw her
Judge
this afternoon.
Simpson.
Hollywood Court.
Drop in on Judge Wolf. I don't know. Fridays are always a weird day to drop in court hopping.
They are.
Judges work like bankers hours. They take Fridays off for some reason. But anyway, we'll find something to do. It's going to be a lot of fun.
They're like retired principals.
Roy, do you have plans for the weekend?
No. Last weekend I did some work in my yard, and it cost me $700 to get it fixed. I think I'm just going to stay indoors.
It's just hire the professional first.
Yeah, just go ahead and it saved me I'd have gotten a day back in my life if I'd have just shelled out the money to begin with.
Thomas, you got plans?
I do. Golf, followed by like a 5-hour baby shower.
That must be one dirty baby. Whew.
Yeah. There's the joke of the night. He did it.
There, the song just started again because we don't have enough time. All right, so we'll say goodbye to everybody. Have a great night. Thank you, Roy. It's always good to have you here. Thomas, thank you, my friend. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you. You know what we have to do? I've got to do some comments really quickly. We have like 27 people we have to thank, and it goes like this: Red Pen, and Lois Cox, all gifted memberships. Lee McIntosh, brand new member. Thank you very much. We've got Fanny Pack here, member for 12 months. Paula Mack, member for 13 months. Has made so many friends since joining. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Virginia Little, member for 10 months. Thank you very much, Virginia. Angela says, I'm back in the members world. Thank you, Lois Cox. 5 months and counting. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat and our URA. Greetings from Sweden. That's how she said it. Sweden. Islands Princess, member for 5 months. Yay, 5 months. What I've been watching much longer. Love my true crime family. Thank you very much. Mrs. Kevin, member for 4 months. Says 4 months ago, I was delivering my baby boy. First thing in the morning, I told the doctor I needed to be in court at 8 a.m. I can't remember which trial it was.
Love it.
We gifted a couple memberships. That was great. Crazy Cat Queen says, for the record, my membership actually goes back to Letitia, the suitcase stout. But YouTube problem sets me back. I understand YouTube does that. Coffee and Crime, member for 8 months. Thank you very much. We gifted 5 more memberships. Weather Watch gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Coffee and Crime, also 5. Dwayne Harris gifted 5. Kathy Trout, welcome, Dwayne. And thanks for the memberships. We had a couple super chats from Braxton talking about gaming. Crazy Cat Queens, does spit and jeans count as wet wipes? I think it does.
100%.
We've got, wrong one. Dwayne Harris gifted another 5. Crazy Cat Queen says, also, I scrub my hands with very dry dirt. That works. Dwayne Harris says, I like it here. I found a great new home. Someone recommended this channel to me. Whoever that was, they're your friend, Dwayne. And thanks. We like to count you as a friend as well. Welcome. Good to have you here. Crazy Cat Queen. Hello. My tongue's not working. Said, I told my hubby to have a fun roll too. First song is Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox. Prop me up beside the jukebox when I die. That's a good one. Country themes. Good song.
Good one.
Dwayne Harris gifted another 5, and Coffee and Crime gifted 5 memberships. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel. You guys have a great night. Roy, Thomas, get some sleep. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in the morning or Monday or whenever that is.
Good night, everybody.
All right, we'll see you.